on my step inside. Beautiful. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in front of us, that is where our container port was located. But the government moved them and put them out of everybody's way. And so they put them down at the western end of the island. So if you look to your left, you would be able to see the Atlantis from here. And so this area, this is mostly a commercial area. You know how this is not a residential area. Over to your left, we have the government complex. That is a land and survey building. They are responsible for government land, or where the government will issue land to do horticulture work on. And then over here to your right, these are where they have the ATVs and all of that. They have a local bank called Scotia Bank. It's a Canadian bank. They have a massage place, Bahamas Retreat. They also have a local restaurant called Green Parrots. And then if you look right here, this young man here with the, see that young man right there? He's the only Bahamian that is playing professional baseball in the major leagues. And he plays for the Miami Marlins. His name is Jazz Chisholm. Alright. We have a local marina called Bay Street Marina. We also have a local volunteer organization that is called the Bahamas Air Sea Rescue Association. They are the folks that look for you when you're lost in your boat. This is our Harbor Patrol Unit, which is a part of our military, called the Royal Bahamas Defense Force. This is our beach soccer stadium to the left. And also the bridge that we are going over. This bridge is called the Sidney Poitier Bridge. Now some of you folks might not know that Sidney Poitier was a descendant of the Bahamas. He was also one of our ambassadors to Japan. If you look to the left, you can see the sun. Also, you would be able to see your cruise ship from here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have 700 islands and keys here in the Bahamas. Only 29 of them are inhabited. The boats that you see to the left, these boats take food and building supplies to the other islands in the Bahamas. Because you cannot drive to those islands, you either have to take a boat or you have to go by plane. We are surrounded by 100,000 square miles of water. You have the Atlantis, you have the Reef, the Cove, and the large one is the Royal. That's the bridge suite that you see there. It's called the Michael Jackson Suite. That goes for $25,000 per night, and it's a minimum of 4 nights. The pretty buildings that you see at these belongs to the Atlantis. The only 2 hotels that were left after they developed the Atlantis is the one with the flag, which is called the Coral Towers, and the one next to the Rio, which is called the Beach Towers. So before this became Atlantis, it was called Resorts International. It was owned by Merv Griffin and Donald Trump. And then they sold it to a gentleman by the name of Saul Kirshner from South Africa. And so he was the one who developed this into the Atlantis. After a while, Mr. Kirshner sold it to a company called Brooksfield Management. And presently they are the owners. So we just left Nassau, now we're on Paradise Island. This is an island separate from Nassau altogether, but it is still located here on the island of New Providence. Atlantis is the second highest employer besides the Bahamas government. Atlantis has approximately of about 7,500 employees. Also, ladies and gentlemen, Atlantis, during Thanksgiving, they had a tournament here on the island called the Battle for Atlantis. And that is where they had college basketball teams come over, and they were playing basketball in the Atlantis Imperial Ballroom. That was broadcast live on ESPN television. And so that is when you had a lot of folks came over for the basketball tournament. Over to your right, we have the Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville. Now Atlantis, they also hold concerts here on the island. Alright. In 2023, they had a group called the Chain Smokers. They were here and they brought in 2023 here on the island. They also had a golf tournament here on the island called the White Sand, Santa Clara, where they had collegiate young men and young ladies, and they came over here and they were playing golf. To your left, that is the Atlantis Marina, and that is where they have the boats pull up and down in there, and the yachts. And then over to the right, they have our police station. This is Marina Village here to the left, where they have restaurants and stores. And if you look right there, you can see they're advertising for 2024. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you come to Paradise Island and you are living at the Comfort Suites, you would be able to enjoy all of the amenities of the Atlantis. That is including the Aquaventure, water park, all of that you will be able to enjoy once you are living at Comfort Suites. Over to your right, we have a shopping plaza that has different stores, grocery stores, liquor stores, souvenir stores. They have a local restaurant called Anthony's Bar and Grill, and they also have Dunkin' Donuts. The Bahamas runs on Dunkin'. Yes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, also the beach towers to the right. That is another part of the Atlantis Resort. All right. There's a young man by the name of Pharrell Williams. Him and another gentleman are going in partnership with the Atlantis, and then they're going to turn that into another resort. So ladies and gentlemen, this is where we drop you off for 25 minutes. Those of you who want to use the restroom, you walk in right here where this entrance is, walk straight ahead, the restroom is straight ahead.